This is the global prehistory section. I'm going to go through this really pretty quickly. We're going to start with the Paleolithic era. Paleo means old, lith the root is stone, so we're talking about the old stone age. It says here, I don't know why I got this, but 30,000 BCE. You might actually place it at 40,000 BCE to 9,000 BCE, but of course, who knows, right? Because we have we're just kind of having to figure these things out. During the Paleolithic era, we're dealing with hunter-gathering cultures, people living in caves. It's a long time for people to be living in caves, but that's how it went. No written records, obviously, prehistory. We're going to be focusing on mostly cave paintings here. Mostly with the cave paintings, they were animals that were depicted mostly in some composite view, not just profile, but sometimes also the head or the antlers or horns would be turned towards the viewer. So you might compare that to the Egyptian form for depicting human beings. Generally, they did not depict people. If they did, it was usually a woman. Women were understood to be more connected to nature. They have the ability to make life, so that would be why. We do see some men, but it's pretty rare in terms of the images there. We see what we can only guess as symbols. We don't know exactly what they mean. We also see handprints. There are some really cool cave paintings where you just see a bunch of hands. I didn't include them in this video, but if you can look up cave painting hands, and they're really cool. We also see some sculptures, mostly focusing on fertility, things that have to do with fertility, right? Fertility or kind of totems for hunting. They're generally carved from tusk bone and stone. If they did have wood carvings, they're no longer around because those would have disintegrated long ago. Okay, so we're going to look at the first one. This is the first one on the 250 list. It's the Apollo 11 stones. It's Namibia, which is on I believe the east coast. Oh gosh, where is Namibia? I believe it's the east coast of Africa, but I'm not entirely sure. I should know that. It might be the west coast, but it's on the coast. It's actually found, it was called the Apollo 11 stones because it was the cave where the stones were found was discovered the same year that Apollo 11 went up. It is charcoal on stone. Nearby these stones were other artifacts, other stone tools, but those materials weren't from that particular era, and so that tells us obviously that we're dealing with a nomadic people. Also, this cave where the stones were found used to be overlooking a river. There's no river there anymore. It's all dried up. Environments change over time. We don't know exactly what animal this is. If you look carefully, you can see it looks kind of feline. It looks maybe as though it's nursing, so it's probably a female. You can also see little bits of kind of horns there. The suggestion is that these are kind of a human leg. So is it a composite animal, human hybrid? What kind of animal is it? We don't know. We have to make guesses about all of those things. Again, what I would suggest, and this is going to be true for all the Paleolithic art, is that one way to think about the depiction of animals is that, could it be for hunting purposes, like calling on the animal so it could be hunted? Yes. Could it be for some kind of worshiping purpose, other kind of worshiping purpose? Yes, absolutely. But you also have to think about, and this is a general human response, and it's true, in the Paleolithic era and today, is that in creating an image of something, there is a suggestion of control over that thing, right? And so by creating the images of these different animals, there is obviously not a literal control, but at least some sense of spiritual control or psychological control that you have over the thing that you are creating. So let's keep that in mind. That's all I have to say about this thing, because that's all we got. Microcarbon dating, I think it's microcarbon dating, is what we would use to figure out about how old it is. And we couldn't date the stone, but we could date the things around the stone. So that's how they figured out how old it is. All right, moving along. The Great Hall of the Bulls in Lascaux, France. Actually, I'm going to save this for the next one. New video.